I'm a filmmaker. Yeah, that's right. I make films. Look at this film. I made it. Well, I made it with people. Quite a bit of people. I also made this one. Oh, okay. Oh boy. Why did I start out so far? You know what I also like? Film reviews. With my YouTube expertise, I figured I'd have to talk not only about whom I trust when it comes to film reviews, but also what makes a good film reviewer. As a former film reviewer, who might come back and do it, but I don't know. How'd that happen? I can tell you that it's harder than it looks. Editorial pieces are relatively hard to write considering how much you have to think about all the factors that go into a film, including your opinion. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating it, though. There's a certain art to reviewing film, though. Of course, with the advent of platforms like YouTube, film reviews from everyone is easily accessible, but it takes a lot to be as successful as Siskel Ebert, or, Chris Stuckman, or, all the big YouTubers. I should probably not use that allegory so much. So, what makes a good film critic on YouTube? Here's a bunch of lists from a guy who thinks he knows what he's talking about. I feel having information and knowledge of the film's production and process for the film you're reviewing helps legitimize yourself. To some extent, understanding the creative process and how films are made help with the reviewing process. I find that film reviewers that are filmmakers themselves seem to be the most insightful, seeing as they understand what it's like to make a film. Having filmmaking experience, I find, makes it easier to detect directing styles and shots, making a review more fleshed out. When discussing a film in a franchise, it's probably best that you remove yourself from the franchise to look at the film objectively. I really hate hearing Marvel fanboys defend films like Doctor Strange. It's exceptionally boring. It had the same hero journey arc as every other film. I don't know why people loved it. Again, my personal opinion, but leave your love for the franchise and property out of it. I tend to watch film reviewers who have no bias towards franchises for this reason. You can already tell that I'm probably not the biggest fan of cape shit. First off, I do not like score systems. I do not believe using quantitative systems to represent something qualitative makes any sense. One reviewer's 7 can mean an entirely different thing from your 7. I've come to understand letter grade systems more when reviewers use them. I feel like people can easily understand an A from a C easier. I feel the real solution is to not even use a rating score at all. I know that's what people look for in reviews when they skim through a video, but just giving it a nice brief wrap-up at the end telling people your overall opinion gives a better idea to the audience what you think of the film. But if you can create an effective score system, by all means, go ahead. When writing a film review, try to find ways around comparing and contrasting to explain something in your review. I find it to be lazy writing when you just hear things like, Arrival has the pacing of a Roland Emmerich film, or Under the Skin is very Kubrick-esque. While this is fine at some points, don't try to make it one of your main points when reviewing a film. You have to realize that you are on a wider platform. Not everyone is a film enthusiast and may understand what you mean when you say things like, this horror film has a hint of Lynch. Unless your channel is directly targeted towards film nerds like me, try to find more effective ways of conveying what the film is about and your opinions through more common elaboration rather than just have it referential. When consistently making content on YouTube, it's a given that you have to find your own unique style. I often find myself watching people on their couch with bad audio talking about the films in the most boring way possible.
You guys ready to watch Begotten? I know I am. Been waiting a long time for this one. Ready? Play movie.
Siskel and Ebert were successful because of how well their personalities and opinions played off each other. Of course, this is one man, and it's going to be a deal harder to do. Consider these styles. If you don't want to have a serious and updated attitude in your video, consider either cracking jokes or doing skits akin to nostalgia critics. This is for the people who want to go with a more entertaining route, though. This takes a lot of effort and may be nearly impossible to do if you're reviewing movies in theaters at the moment, but If you're doing a nerd writer type deal, use your After Effects and video editing skills. Go scene by scene, almost analyzing it, kind of like Nostalgia Critic or other long-form reviewers. Mainly reviewers do this anyway, and this really meshes well with comedic styles. My friend Bobby has a channel called Dusty Old Movies who specifically focuses on older movies, including the Universal Monster franchises.
Get him! Take your stinking paws off me, you darn dirty ape!
He knows almost everything about the era of film, so I highly recommend it. This may be really limiting, but if you have a lot of knowledge about this specific topic, I would go for it. In my opinion, when it comes to film reviewing, it's kind of better to be a master of one rather than a jack of all trades. All in all, film reviewers have been a mainstay on YouTube, but the only ones worth paying attention to have some of the traits above, at least in my opinion. I haven't really tried a video like this before, so if you can leave some feedback about this type of editorial, that would be great. And I hope this guide helps you in the right direction.